Welcome America to the 6 o'clock news. Tonight, we have truly tragic news which is only just breaking. Our president, John F. Kennedy, has been assassinated. Over to Alyssa with the details.
This morning, in Dallas, Texas, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, America's 35th president, was shot 3 times while driving through a presidential parade on the Texan streets. He was hospitalized but quickly died on the operating table.
Such an awful tragedy. Of course, we will keep you, the audience, informed as we gain more details.
Wait there, Josh. We have an update on the assassin. We have received word that the man responsible is the 24-year-old Lee Harvey Oswald. He is confirmed to be a former member of the Soviet Union. Could these ties have any relation to his motives for murder?
We are very lucky right now to be receiving news as fast as it can come, Alyssa, as we have more solid information on Oswald. He has been arrested after fleeing the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository, where he was employed, and where spent rifle shells and a Carcano rifle was found. Eyewitnesses believe this is where the shots came from. Police have apprehended him in a movie theater nearby.
And on that note, I am afraid to announce that is all we have time for this evening. Tomorrow on our morning coverage we will be sure to continue into the details of this gruesome tragedy. Good night, and good news. Please keep the Kennedy family in your prayers. Good morning, America, and welcome to Mornings with Mac and More. This morning we will discuss the retrospect of the life of Lee Harvey Oswald, the man who shot down our president yesterday evening.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to say, this is all so much to take in. I can't be the only one who really appreciated Kennedy as a president. His wife, his parents, and his staff, who were especially loyal to JFK, must be shattered.
I agree, Josh. In light of the assassination, the whirlwind of rumors concerning John F. Kennedy's life may never be revealed. But before we were distracted, you had a piece about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yes, sorry about that. Lee Harvey Oswald was born on the 18th of October 1939. As a child he was used to a tough life, with a father who died before he was born, and a mother who in Oswald's youth moved them around 20 times, all without success. As a teen, social workers stated he was emotionally detached, and I quote, gave off the feeling of a kid who nobody gave a darn about, end quote. As he grew older, he joined the Marines but was quickly kicked out for violent incidents. He grew increasingly angry at the social and political environment of America, so he moved by himself to Soviet Russia. However, he became annoyed with Russia spying on him as a Westerner, so he moved with his new wife and child back to the USA. After attempting to murder a co-worker in another town by mail-ordering a rifle, and his flee to Russia for the second time rejected, he and his family, now with a second daughter, moved to Dallas, Texas, where he received employ at the book depository which he used as a vantage point to shoot JFK.
You say, he mail-ordered a rifle and attempted to kill a co-worker?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, that sounds extremely similar to how he killed Kennedy himself. Oswald ordered his Carcano rifle through the mail with a long-range scope, for a combined cost of just under $20. In fact, this morning, before we went on air, me and a gun expert discussed the details of the gun and why it would be used, even with such little information as we had at that time. Here's the footage. Hello David, I'm Alyssa from Channel 1's Mornings with Mac and More. How are you this morning? I hope I haven't woken you too early.
No, not at all, Alyssa. I had trouble sleeping last night anyway. The news of the president being murdered in the streets is troubling.
Well, perhaps you could shed some light on this situation then. It is being said that the perpetrator, a lower-class citizen, used the Italian Carcano rifle from the 6th floor of a building. Could you think of any reason why a disgraced ex-Marine would choose this rifle?
Well, from a ballistics perspective, there would be no real advantage to using the Carcano rifle in this situation. In fact, its low rate of fire, unreliability, and general clunkiness means that it would have been a poor choice if you had other options. But I believe there were 2 factors as to why this particular rifle was used. Firstly, Oswald must have chosen it because while there was many other much better guns for order, I'm fairly sure it was the only gun he could afford. And secondly, let's not forget Oswald was ex-Marines. He would have ballistics experience, which meant he could more easily operate the unwieldy Carcano where others wouldn't have been capable.
Thank you for your expert insight, David. We will be sure to let the world know later today.
Thank you for having me. I'll be interested to see how the autopsy goes. It is the president. I would expect the autopsy to be clear-cut and decisive.
What an oddly specific thing to say. That, of course, was filmed an hour before our program started, but I'm afraid that will be it for today's broadcast. Tune in tonight for the exclusive insight on John Kennedy's autopsy. What will it uncover? Tune in at 6 o'clock to find out on our afternoon coverage.
Good evening, America, and welcome to the 6 o'clock news. This evening our news is an international affair. We have the official results of the autopsy, and I'm sure David, the ballistics expert, will be disappointed to hear this, but it is a failure of national proportions. Graphic photographs are being released and experts are calling it a massive blunder. Over to Alyssa with the full report.
Thank you, Josh. Over the day, autopsy surgeons have been working meticulously to prepare a proper autopsy report on exactly how Kennedy was killed, where the bullets entered and exited, and all the key details on where the bullet went, is what I would say if that were in fact true. However, the operation went significantly worse, to the point where it was baffling. Between the photographs of the entry wounds being extremely unclear due to his head not being shaved, to bullet and exit wounds not being accounted for, to the simple fact that the surgeons, who were military surgeons, not actually trained to perform a regular autopsy, let alone that of the deceased president. This is truly confusing and demoralizing for hopes of finding out how and why this decent man was assassinated. At least we can take comfort in the fact that Lee Harvey will be questioned and brought to justice. Surely he can tell us what the reason for all this was. What was that?
That was the sounds of the live coverage. We were supposed to cross over so we could see how Oswald reacted to the public's questioning, but he was shot. I'm not sure what to make of this, Alyssa. What about you?
No idea, Josh. All I can guess is that someone wants Oswald silenced, and quickly. They wanted Oswald dead before he could inform the police of his motives.
Either that, or some fierce patriot was so incensed that this man had killed the president. He got revenge without seeing the full picture.
Well, we're now achieving information that the assassin of the assassin is a man named Jack Ruby, a nightclub owner with mob affiliations. Do the mob have something to do with this?
Who could know, Alyssa? America is currently in a state of nationwide shock. Conspiracies are running wild. Many don't feel safe in their homes, and most importantly, people are becoming hostile to Russia, which could spark the Cold War into action.
Unfortunately, this is all we have time for this evening. Tune in tomorrow to see if America is still standing. Good night, and good news.